Batter up.
Rob and Chris, they're on the air. Yankees, Mets, they're everywhere. From the Bronx to Queens, the diamond gleams. MLB talk, the ultimate team. MLB is the place to be. Rob and Chris with the pitch you'll see. Swinging stacks and stories fly. Baseball talk that's amplified.
And welcome to a new episode of NY MLB Talk with your host Rob and Chris as we cover the Mets, Yankees, and all of Major League Baseball. It's actually not Rob today. If you're on YouTube, hit that like and sub button for us. We'd really appreciate it. You know where to follow us on TikTok and on Twitter at NYMLB Talk. Rob at Armaraska, myself at CP7NY. So, Rob, why do you have the bag over your head? I wonder why.
It's not Rob. I'm filling in for Rob again. Because
we have a masked fan today.
I can't show my face. Really. I was going to keep that on until the Mets win a game, but it's too hot under there. And I can't. In fact, I can't even. There I go. Okay. Chris, I don't know. Go ahead. Start this show.
Well, listen, guys. 11 straight for the Mets. 11 straight losses. It's embarrassing at this point. They're horrible. And nothing's being done. That was my big thing. I'm thinking to myself today. I'm like, there's something has to get done. Obviously, it's not all Mendoza's fault, right? Because he can only do with what he's got on the roster, right? He can only play the guys. It's all on the players. But who's responsible for putting those players on this roster? That's the boy genius there, Mr. David Stearns, right? And he's probably not going anywhere. He's signed through 2028, making over $10 million a year. So he's probably safe for now. So, Rob, what's your thoughts on the Mets here?
Yeah, he's safe for now. Okay, the Mets are tied with the Kansas City Royals for the worst record and the worst team in baseball. And thanks to the Yankees for that help, because the Yankees didn't sweep the Royals, the Mets would be there alone. All right? They're horrible. How horrible are they? Let's compare. Colorado Rockies are 9-13. The Astros are 8-15. The Boston Red Sox 8-13. Toronto 8-13. Those are all shocks except for Colorado, right? Those are really, who thought Boston was going to be that bad? The Astros and Toronto. Didn't think it. But they're not as bad as the New York Mets, okay? And just this weekend against the Cubs, horrible. Yesterday they could have won the game. They had a great pitcher. They went with the opener, right? So they said, let's have Meyer start the game, and then we'll bring in Peterson. Both of them pitched pretty good. The Mets are leading 1-0, ninth inning. And of course, I'm sitting there, and I know what is about to happen. I knew it was going to happen. You could just feel it. Boom, the Cubs tie it, of course. Williams gets his first blown save of the year. Imagine during all this crap, that's his first blown save. That's how bad the Mets offense has been, that he didn't even get a chance to blow any other saves, because then he probably would have blown saves. All right. But he didn't. This is his first blown save, which is another shocker. All right. So what happens? They go into extra innings, and Mendy, I don't know. He chooses to pitch to Horner, right? Instead of putting him on to set up the double play or play at the plate. Okay, he probably goes to second, but maybe he doesn't go to second. But I think you have to walk him at that point. In fact, the Chicago Cubs radio play-by-play guy was laughing at Mendy for doing that or not doing that, okay? So what happens? They get a hit. And he gets a hit, and the Mets lose once again. And it's horrible. In fact, on the Cubs post-game show, their post game guy said that Mendy better get his LinkedIn profile updated. And what am I? Okay.
Well,
I don't know what happened to my video. Here I am. I'm back.
there you go.
I'm disappearing because I'm so, I don't want my face
He's
to be.
ashamed. You don't even want to.
I'm ashamed. Okay. So what is going on with the Mets? They cannot score to save their lives. Okay. It's pitiful. And I'm going to break down what's going on in this losing streak in a second. But I just want to compare some stuff. Getting rid of those core guys. Let's change it up. We didn't win anything with them, so let's trade Nimmo for Simeon because we want, great defense. And he hits pretty good. He had a bad year, but we're not worried about him. And Stearns, he thinks he's going to hit lightning in a bottle all the time. Well, let's compare Nimmo and Simeon. Okay. Nimmo's batting .311. Simeon, .234. Nimmo has 28 hits. Simeon has 18. Nimmo has 4 home runs. Simeon 1. Nimmo 11 RBIs. Simeon 8. And Nimmo's OPS 908. And what is Simeon's? 606. So how's that working out? Yes.
Not good.
Not good. And Armin's out there. Hi, Armin. Yeah. He gets it, definitely, and you want to hide as well. I think every Met fan wants to hide. What is going on with this team? Like we said the other night, right? It's these guys put on Mets uniforms, and it's like kryptonite. That's Anthony Savino's line. I'm stealing it from him. It's like kryptonite. What's Bo Bichette? What is going on with the guy? The guy never struck out. Never struck out till he gets here, strikes out, isn't doing anything. Yeah, it's still early, but it's getting late pretty fast. I think, something has to be done. Here are the Mets during the 11-game losing streak. Okay, total runs scored, 19. Total runs allowed, 62. What? Their average runs per game is minus 1.7. They have minus runs. How is that possible? This is okay. They haven't had a losing streak like this since 2004. And the worst in franchise history is 17, set by the 1962 Mets. Okay, so that's the record they're going after. They're not going after any home run records, any stolen base records, hits. They're going after the most losses in a row, set by the worst Mets team, the first Mets team, the 1962 Mets. Okay, I don't know, Chris. You never have to go through this stuff. What do you think about this?
Well, the last time the Yankees lost 10 straight was 1912, I think. Just to give you a little historical with the Yankees, but also during this stretch for the Mets, you mentioned the run scored. They're also batting 200 as a team.
Yeah,
they're also batting 145 with runners in scoring position. Their ERA, their team ERA is 6.25, and they've also been shut out 3 times in this 11-game losing streak. It is embarrassing at this point. And this, to me, it falls more on Stearns than it does on Mendoza, in my mind.
Yeah, okay.
Mendoza can only play with who he's got, right? I mean, the players got to do something, and then they're doing literally nothing for themselves out there on the field. It's really bad. I mean, you're not hitting, you're not pitching, so you can't put it. But here's the thing: something has to be done. They have to change up. They have to make a change. I think bringing up Pham was the wrong idea, right?
Oh,
that guy, I mean,
horrible.
He's horrible. I would have rather have seen Mauricio come up and put him in the lineup. The guy's hitting down in AAA, so bring him up.
Well, he was up. He got the game-winning hit. Remember the walk-off the other night?
Why'd they send him down? I don't understand.
Because they want to drive us crazy. Here's a question: who gets fired first, Mendoza or Rob Thompson, Chris?
I'm going to say Mendoza. Mendoza's only got this year left. He's got an option year next year, a team option. So and he's making nothing. I don't know what Rob Thompson's contract is, but yeah, if they lose the series this weekend, possibly. You know, I don't know. I don't know anymore because who are you going to replace him with? You know, another guy you want to get rid of? How about the hitting coach? Get rid of that guy.
Yeah.
The team is they're not even hitting. Like you said, Bichette's got a almost 300 batting average career, and he's doing nothing for you guys. Like,
Not
what's
only
going
yeah,
on?
not only do they have a hitting coach, they have an assistant hitting coach. So
Oh God.
two of them. Like what's going on? You know what I think there may be, Mendy may be going pretty soon. Do you have that one picture that I sent you of the guy who was having dinner with Steve Cohen? It's that way. If I click on it, I can put it on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think.
That guy. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did have that.
I think Chico Escuela may be the next Mets manager. He was seen having dinner. He was seen having dinner with Steve Cohen the other night. So maybe that's going to be the next Mets manager, former right fielder Chico Escuela.
And the one saving grace for you guys, right, is Atlanta's the only team that's in the division that's over 500 right now. Like the rest of the division is not playing well, right? Even the Marlins, yeah, they're playing better than I think some thought they would be, but they're still under 500. I mean, but you guys right now are 8 games back of the first place Braves. Yes, it's early in the season. There's still 140 games left or whatever it is. So yeah, there is still a lot of baseball left, but you guys have dug a hole. Like this is an 8-game hole, before May is bad. That's not good. But there is a lot of games left. But they also have to make changes. Like something has to happen here. You can't just keep running out what's his name? Bench out in the outfield when he's batting, 1-0 whatever. You can't keep doing that.
Chris, he has got to go back to AAA.
Yeah.
And he's got to. They got to figure something out because they could ruin this guy. This could ruin him. So they have to go down and find out. They dug a grave and not a hole. That's a pretty good point, Armand, really.
But you got to also, like you brought it up a little bit in your opening statement too. Like you got to start questioning David Stearns here because this is year 2 now. How many years now of this can you deal with? Like this offseason, think about the moves he made. How many moves did he make were made that made the team better, right? Peralta, yeah, the trade for Peralta, yes. Absolutely. That was a great trade. Gave up a lot for him, obviously, but I think it's worth it in the end. That's one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got lucky with Robert so far, right? Robert has stayed healthy because that's another thing with him. He's always hurt. So he's healthy and he's playing well, which is great. So far that looks awesome. But other than those two, Bichette, the signing, has not looked good.
No,
Polanco, putting a guy who's this I've still it's mind-boggling to me. Putting a guy who's never played first base there, and to say that you want to improve the defense, that makes no sense to me.
No,
I'm sorry. As bad as Alonso, everybody thinks he is at first base. He still has played first base his entire career, so he knows where to be. He knows everything about the position. Maybe he's not, maybe he doesn't have the best range or something like that, but he's still better than Polanco at first base. I'm sorry.
Right.
Horrible.
Yeah.
And
yes,
I
agree.
Once again, Polanco's the guy that gets hurt. He's hurt again.
Right. And Armand, I agree with you. Yeah, Benj in the outfield rather than Pham.
Yeah,
yes, but I think the kids got to go down there. They got to figure this out. Because
bring up Mauricio, right? Mauricio plays the outfield, right? Put him out there.
Everywhere. And what's going? Yeah, really. It's driving me crazy. It's driving all Met fans crazy. And and on social media, then you have the other Met fan who says, "No matter what, I'm still a Met fan." Yeah, of course you are. But we don't want to see this. This is horrible. And they're coming back to Citi Field, and I'm going to say it again. Okay, I'm going to tell people out there. When Lindor comes up, don't sing "My Girl" and smile because don't do it. It's driving me crazy. You guys are singing. They right now are they're so bad. There's nothing to sing about. All right? Just let him go up to bat with his song and don't sing. I don't want to see any people behind the plate singing and swaying to My Girl. I've had enough of that. You know what? Why don't you get something that's going to get the crowd going? You know, something like more heavy metal type or something than My Girl.
Change it up. Change it up.
Change it up already.
Like, you got to do something to change this up. And going back to the players that they brought in, you know what? You trade Nimmo, who's been with you guys forever, and you brought in Simeon, who is he's on the downside of his career, right? He's what, 34, 35 years old? He's coming off his worst season. And like you said, he's you're catching him, you're catching lightning in a bottle at 35 years old? No, that doesn't happen. It was just a bad move. I understand breaking it up. I got that. And he was right about doing that. But I think the guys that he brought in were just the mistakes. Bringing in Simeon, it made no sense bringing him in. Bringing in Polanco to play first base doesn't make sense. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm all for that. That would be great.
But you're right. But okay, I see. You gotta make some moves to break that core up, right? So all right, get rid of McNeil. Nimmo, you know, fan favorite. Now he's in Texas. He's having a good time right now, isn't he? He's having a great
first
time.
place. Why not? I'd be happy too. And listen, Stearns is lucky that, you know, a couple of the guys that he let go with contracts are not having good years, right? Like so far, Pete Alonso has not hit that well, and so far Diaz, right? He, you know, his knee might be going on him. So those, he might have looked good in those, but the guys that he brought in to replace them are not good. They weren't good options. I'm sorry. No,
I agree with you. And maybe if Pete doesn't leave, maybe Pete's hitting better. Maybe he's putting too much pressure on him himself, right?
Yeah.
But so Chris, you're the general manager.
It was about, hold on a second. Armand is saying about getting rid of Nimmo's contract. Yeah. You're getting rid of his contract, but now you got Simeon's contract.
Yeah, really, which is
that's just a
stupid friggin' move.
Right. I mean, you brought it back more money.
Let's face
for more money.
Yeah. Let's face the fact, okay? It was about Stearns having his own team, getting his own play. That's what it was about, because that wasn't his team. Okay? But it's fine if you do the right thing. Listen, he didn't even want to, we know he did not want to sign Soto. That was all Cohen. Okay? Yeah. So think about that. He didn't want to sign Soto. If you don't have Soto on this team coming back, you're really in trouble. And what?
Think about it. Last year, the guy almost went 40-40, and they still missed the playoffs.
And he started off
a better year out of that guy.
And he didn't start hitting until June.
Right.
So Chris, you're GM of the Mets. What are you going to do about this Mets?
Like I said, I'm dumping Pham for sure, and I'm bringing up Mauricio. That would be my guy. I don't know about the rest with bench. I would sit bench too. Like, either you send him down. I think you got to send him down because you want him to play every day to get his confidence up, right? So I would send him down. Tommy Pham to me is a waste, but if you want to send down bench and bring up Mauricio, I would do that. That would be my first move. And I would also try to get a first baseman in. Like, having Beatty playing first base, I think is a waste. I'm sorry. Or Vientos, or just make Vientos the everyday first baseman. Boom. Just make him until Polanco returns, make him your everyday first baseman. That's it.
I agree. And something has to be done. Okay.
Right, something.
They're coming home. We talked about this before we came on. So they have the Twins, they have the Nationals, right? And they have the Rockies. Like Armand said, if they lose, that's it. That's going to be the end. That's got to be the end of Mendy. It's got to be, you can't put it all on him, but I don't see any energy from him. I really don't see any energy from him. It's business as usual. I don't know what's going on in the clubhouse. I mean, we've spoke about We talked to Mickey Callaway about that, and there's a lot of stuff we don't know, of course, that goes on in the clubhouse. So we don't know what's going on. But something has to be done. And yeah, I was going to say this. When MJ Melendez is your best hitter right now, you're in trouble.
Right.
Okay. But yeah, I think he probably should be the DH. Chris, it's hard to watch this team right now. They are unwatchable right now.
Yeah. And there's really not much you can do, right? Those are a couple of moves, like, bringing up Mauricio maybe, or another pitcher, you could do those things because trades are not going to happen now, right? You're not going to get a trade at the end of April. Like, teams are still trying to figure out what they have on their team. So it's almost like a wait and see. Like, yeah, sure, after Memorial Day and you get into June, yeah, then we'll start seeing some moves. But hopefully by then, your team is not buried in the standings. Like, they got to start winning games. And you know what? You got a homestand now, a 9-game homestand where you got some easy games, or should be easy games.
Should be.
Get you back on track, right? You got Washington, you got Colorado, and you got Minnesota. Those 9 games, you got to come out of this, 9-game homestand with at least 5-6 wins. At least that.
And Chris, what did I say to you before we came on?
It's true.
Armin, I said the same exact thing to him. I'm glad that there's no Met game today. I do not want to watch the Mets. Listen, this is a team that I put the game on, and I'm like, how are they going to lose today? What's going to happen today? How are they going to blow the game? Not even lose it like yesterday. Blow the game. They wasted a good pitching performance once again. They can't score runs. What is going on? I cannot look at this team right now.
Yeah, and I didn't get the whole bringing up Singer, Hayden, the catcher. I get it to get Alvarez some DH spots, but that would have been a good time to bring up Mauricio, I thought. I mean, the guy has been he's been having a good year. Bring him up. I don't get it. Clifford might be too young, I guess, or not ready yet. Maybe he needs more time in AAA. Okay, you want to give him a few more weeks? That's great. But Benj is doing nothing for you now. Like, send him down and bring someone else up.
You're right. And Beatty, I don't know what is wrong with Beatty. I said, I'm glad. Remember, I said, well, I'm glad that they kept Beatty. He's going to be the next McNeil, but better. I was happy. Right now, he's another lost one. The guy isn't hitting. He looks terrible at the plate. The Mets defense looks horrible too. I mean, I can't believe that. They're missing double plays. They're not making double plays. It's horrible. And we talked about it Friday. Lindor, he's somewhere else. His head's somewhere else. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's another one supposed to be the face of the franchise, right? What is it? A clubhouse that once again is not getting along, Chris? What's going on?
I mean, listen, right now, I'm sure nobody's getting along just because, they're not playing well. So I'm sure it's not a happy, clubhouse right now, but they got to figure it out, right? That's where the leaders of the team, that's where the manager steps in and says, okay, and either have a team meeting, either have a player only meeting. Something's got to get done.
Yeah. And Nick, that's what we said. This infield, they do not have a first baseman. They don't have a first baseman. Right. It's a team of shortstops and catchers right now. Right. With
not even good fielding shortstops to begin with.
Yeah, with a couple outfielders, sprinkled in there. Yeah, we were talking about that before, and Stern said that he is happy with the job Mendy is doing. So you know what that means. That's the kiss of death.
Yeah, you're like a week or two away from getting fired.
Yeah, when they say, how many times have we heard that, and then the guy's gone? But I was not happy when they signed Mendy. Okay, and you know that, but you talked me down. You said, listen, he was great as the Yankees bench coach. This guy's going to be good. So you talked me down, and I said, all right. I wasn't happy they fired Buck at that point. I didn't think they gave him a fair deal because of that 1 year. But then Mendy, 2024, the Mets, they start off slow, and then look what happened. They made it to the National League Championship Series against the Dodgers. So it's like, all right, everything's going good. Everything's working out. And we know what happened.
And here's the other thing. I know it was a few days ago, but Steve Cohen tweeted this, okay? Nobody wants to hear your owner say this in the middle of a losing streak. He tweeted, "Nobody likes to lose, but I saw some green shoots tonight." I'm not sure what that means, but on offense, Lindor had 2 hits, including a home run. Bichette got a double, hitting it to left field as opposed to recently being right field prone. Benj got a solid hit. Soto started his running progression today. Simeon hit a shot that might have been a home run on a warmer night. Finally, Nolan McLean pitched an outstanding game, going 7 innings. Hang in there, fans. We will turn this around. You know what? If you're going to do that, don't say anything at all. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. You're trying to make it, but the fans don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that.
No, they don't. And that ties into what Nick says, right?
Yeah,
that there's a huge disconnect. You forgot what else he said. Everything's looking good. He also said the casino's going to probably be finished a year earlier than he thought.
That's more important. That's what he's worried about.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what green shoots mean.
Okay.
Between me and you, we've probably watched baseball for 100 years combined, right?
Yeah, right.
I have no idea what green shoots mean.
I don't know. Maybe you got to be a billionaire to know what that means. I don't know. I'm not in that club.
But he needs to cut it. No more tweets. Okay, I don't want to hear anything.
Okay. So something is. But okay, we're getting into gardening now.
We appreciate that, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. So it's a mess. The Mets are a mess. He thinks. I don't know. Maybe we could have that as a question on the show. What we think about that saying.
How many players out there look like they having some green shoots so far early in the year?
Yeah, it probably is a.
It's definitely not a baseball term because I think one of us would have heard that by now.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've been watching baseball since I was able to talk. So, yes, I remember when the Mets won the '69 World Series. I was little, but I remember they were blowing the horns outside like crazy. So that's how old I am. But anyway. Not looking forward to this homestand.
No, definitely not.
Seriously, though, you're right. If they don't listen, they have to have a winning homestand. If they don't have a winning homestand, there's no way Mendy should make it through this homestand if that happens. Someone's got to be the scapegoat. It's not going to be Stearns, so something has got to happen. But who are they going to bring in to replace him? Do you want to bring in Beltran now? Remember, he's got to take some time off. He's getting inducted to the Baseball Hall of Fame and the Mets Hall of Fame this summer. So what, do you want to start him? Do you bring him in to try to change things up? What do you do?
I think, yeah, you know what? That's a good point. So I think with him, maybe you bring him in later in the year. So at least he gets his feet wet a little bit this year and not goes into next year as a brand new manager. At least if he gets a couple of months in, so maybe bring him in later in the year. Like, let's say in August, that kind of, mostly, yeah. Is that really what you want?
I don't want that. It's the same. Right. It's going to be the same.
That's going to be the point. Like, they're going to just say, hey, let's roll with what we got and hope that when Soto returns sometime in the next week or so, this guy is going to, put a jolt into that offense and the team and they could go on a run. And this is like a good homestand to do it because you got 9 games against, they're all winnable games. As bad as the Mets are playing, these are all winnable games. right?
Yeah,
And they got to get it done. Like you said, they have to have a winning homestand. They have to.
they have to, or else it's just gonna look bad. I think the Mets need a hard nosed old time manager. You know who I want to see manage the Mets? I want to see John D'Acquisto come in and manage the Mets.
We'll see a lot of fights, I think, if he's there.
How great would that be, Chris?
That would be fun to, because then we'd have two managers that have two.
That what come on the show?
You know who would be a good idea? Like bring him in just to kind of spark everybody. Terry Collins.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what? You're not.
I know
kidding.
He's older now, but hey, why not? Why not? He can't go. Listen, he can't do worse, right? They just lost 11 straight. He can't do worse.
Listen, when Mickey Callaway was manager of the Mets, they brought in an 80-year-old pitching coach. Remember? Phil Reagan. Remember that? So, I mean, what the heck? But seriously, I don't know. People have been naming names, but they just have to start hitting. They have to. They can't leave runners in scoring position. But let's see what Nick says. Or you could bring Joe Torre so taking.
He would have no time to take a nap. He only took naps with the Yankees because he knew what was going on. Like he knew.
But Nick,
he got this game.
You can't do that. You can't do that, Chris, because then he'll come full circle. He started off with a terrible Mets team, and then he'll finish off with a terrible Mets team.
Yeah, I don't think he'd want to do that.
Nah, I don't think he would want to do that.
I think he'd only come back to manage the Dodgers at this point.
Yeah. And I don't even know about that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Joe. I love you, Joe. Joe, I love you, but you got to let it go. 1986
It's 40
is
years
40
ago.
years ago. My favorite Met team, yes, but you got to let it go. It's over. We got to worry about 2026, Joe.
There's no more Gary Carters or Keith Hernandez that's going to come and save the day.
Keith can't even. He isn't even in a broadcast booth right now because he just had back surgery.
He's done. He was like, "I'm done. I can't come back.
That's it.
My back is bothering me. I'm out of here."
But it's good. It's good. It's good to dream. All right. Maybe
they could do a 1986 DVD giveaway.
Well, they're having the reunion this summer, so maybe those guys could talk.
So I think Joe Dell has to go to that game. I think we have to get him tickets.
Yeah, really. Listen, I think I got to go to that game. Really. Maybe the Mets puppet, Bill the Met puppet, will want to go too.
I can't imagine how he's feeling right now. He must not be.
Oh, I do, because he posted it on TikTok and he tagged us. And he just went like this with his puppet hands, with his little puppet hands. Okay. How do you how do you make a Muppet depressed? Muppets are happy. Everything. Look what they're doing to him. The guy, and then he doesn't get a break. Then he changes from his Met jersey to his Jets jersey. The puppet never gets a break. I'll tell you, he never gets a break. But anyway, all right, so that's what's going on with the New York Mets. They are a mess. And there's nothing else. There's nothing more you could say about it. They're just a mess. And let's go to the Bronx for a second, to a team that has turned it around. Because, listen, anytime the Yankees play the Royals, the Yankees are going to win. So Friday night, and I told you before the show, the Yankees are going to sweep the Royals. The Yankees, it's happened since like in the 70s when the Yankees used to kill them in the playoffs, okay? Always killed the Royals in the playoffs. So the Yankees swept the Royals. Chris, what did you think about the series?
I think what you said is right. I mean, the Yankees own the Royals. I did a little research on this. The Royals, since they became a franchise in 1969, and do you know who the manager was for the Royals in their first year?
In 1969, refresh me. I'm an old man and I'm frustrated.
He's a former Yankee second baseman. Joe Gordon was there.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I didn't know that either, so I had to look this up. But anyway, since that year, since they came into existence, the Royals have won 10 season series against the Yankees in their entire history. 10.
That's unbelievable.
They've tied nine season series, and they've won 10, and they lost 38 so far. That's incredible for one team. And listen, the Royals they've had some good teams, right? They're not, they've had some bad teams too. I'm not saying that, but they've had some pretty good teams, the Royals. And for them to only win 10 season series against the Yankees in, 57 years now, that's pretty amazing. So, but anyway, so just the domination of the Yankees over the Royals, like you said, yeah, they were probably going to sweep them. First game was good. They needed a 2-run homer by Ryan McMahon in the 8th inning. It was good to see that because he's been struggling so bad. He should actually be a Met right now, but unfortunately he's a Yankee. So, he came up with it. But Saturday and Sunday were blowouts, big wins. The big thing, and plus we heard good news. Cole pitched in his first rehab game, and Rodon's going to pitch in his first rehab game this week. So I think that's the good news. That would never compete, probably. And then, the big question mark down the road for the Yankees in a few weeks is when Rodon returns and when Cole returns. Who are they going to replace in the rotation? Because right now the Yankees have the third best rotation ERA in baseball, right? Everybody's pitching well. Luis Gil, I think, is the easy first choice. He's probably going to be either demoted to AAA or he's going to be put in the bullpen. And then the other one is probably going to be Weathers. Weathers only threw a bunch of innings last year. I think he threw 38 innings total last year. So they're probably watching his innings. So I could see Weathers going into the bullpen. So they could kind of, keeping, the innings down this year on him. But he's been pitching great. I mean, he just pitched a shutout this week. Yesterday. So, and Will Warren's been pitching great. Will Warren's probably going to be the number 5 starter. But hopefully, if everybody's healthy in a few weeks, by June, the rotation's going to be Cole, Fried, Rodon, Schlittler, and then whoever's the 5. Let's say it's Will Warren. That's going to be a great starting rotation. I'm a little worried about the bullpen, but other than that, Yankees are looking good, man. They're starting to hit. Jazz is still struggling. He's this is all on him, right? He put himself out there. He talked about going 50-50 this year, which is ridiculous. He should have never said that. So now he's trying to hit a home run on every swing, and you could tell he's just trying too hard. But I think once someone gets him to calm down, he'll be all right. And I agree, and I think they got the best team without a doubt. The Yankees have the best team in the American League. They should be going into the playoffs this year as the number 1 seed in the American League.
Yeah, listen. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue with you on that. And just think, if things keep going the way they're going at the trade deadline, if they need some relief help, they could get Williams or Luke Weaver from the Mets.
No, we're good. We're good. That's we don't have any buyer's remorse. You guys have buyer's remorse. We don't. We have. I am so happy that we did not sign them back, and I'm so happy about that. Like, they're gone. I'm happy. I thought Williams would bounce back, and I still think he'll be okay. Weaver, like I said, I don't know.
Weaver. It looks like if the wind's going to blow hard, he's going to fall off of the mound. Really, right?
He is. He's really thin.
It looks like I hope that he's
another guy. Like, we'll get back to Stearns. That's another guy. Like, why did you bring him in when you could have signed that kid Suarez that went to the Braves, right?
Right.
I mean, not only did you not sign him, he went to the division rival, who's right now running away with the division, right? So, I don't know. That's going to be a bad move. That's going to come back to haunt them, I think.
And let's talk about Ben Rice for a minute, Chris. Ben Rice is what you thought he was going to be, isn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, right now he's about as good as you're going to get right now in the league. He's had a great start, and I think everything that people thought he would be after last season is coming into, fruition right now. When you look at Ben Rice, he's here. I'll just put this up. It'll be easier.
That's true, Armin, by the way. Go ahead. What
did he say? Williams stats don't look good, but
because of
yeah, exactly. That's why I think Williams is going to be okay. I really
Yeah,
do.
me too. I do too.
I at least I hope so for you guys, because if he's bad, you're in bad shape. But
Yeah.
just to give you guys some numbers on Yankees with at least a 475 on base, 800 slug, and 20 runs in the player's first 21 games of a season. Ben Rice, who did it this year. And then you go back to A-Rod in 2007, and then before that, you have to go to Mickey Mantle in 56, Gehrig in 27, and Ruth in 26 and 21. That shows you what company he's in there right now. And if he's hitting, and Judge is on a tear lately. He's up to 8-9 home runs. So this offense this is an offense where it's been top heavy, like the bottom. Like I said, Jazz hasn't hit, Wells hasn't hit. But if those guys get going, this is going to be some team with this lineup, and the pitching that they got, the rotation. And if these guys stay healthy, you got Rodon and Cole returning, and then that's just going to make the bullpen better because someone's going to be moved there. So, yeah, it's looking good, but injuries could happen and could change everything. But right now, yeah, it's going good. And we got Boston up next.
Yeah, and especially, with the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, the way they've been playing, I mean, if the Yankees, if things keep going this way, Yankees could run away with that division. Let's see what they do against the Red Sox. I mean, listen, if they sweep or at least win the series against the Red Sox are in trouble. I just can't believe that division. We thought that division was going to be like the toughest division. Right now, it's not. The Yankees are just, dominating that division right now.
Yeah. The Red Sox did win today. They beat Detroit, who was red hot as well. But that series starts Tuesday, Yankees Red Sox at Fenway. So that'll be I think it's an early litmus test for both teams. Can the Red Sox get back on the horse, stop playing well? Can the Yankees continue to play well? And the big thing is the Yankees have to get better against the American League East, right? Their own division. They weren't good last year, especially against Toronto. That has to change this year for them to win their division, because if they don't, then it's going to be the same thing as last year. Maybe they'll tie for it, but they have to get better against the other teams in their division. They have to, and they've already got swept by Tampa last week. So hopefully it changes this starting with Boston.
Yeah, I agree. And Boston won today, but doesn't Boston always win the Patriots Day game?
Yeah.
Right?
That is true.
So and that's an early game always. All right, so the Yankees, things are looking up good for the Yankees. What do you see with this upcoming Red Sox series, Chris?
You know what? I feel pretty good about it. Like right now, I mean, you can't ask for them playing any better. I kind of like the the pitching matchups. The first one I'm not too fond of. Tuesday night, it's Luis Hill versus Connolly early for Boston. Their young pitcher, but he's been pitching pretty good. Then Wednesday, you got Fried against Suarez, which should be great.
Yeah.
And then Thursday night is the big one, right? Cam Schlittler against Brian Bayo. That place is going to be loud against Schlittler because Schlittler's been going back and forth on social media, because he's a Boston guy and he's been talking trash about the Red, and they're going back and forth, which is great.
But Chris, he has been getting death threats.
Yeah, which I think is ridiculous. I mean,
it's ridiculous.
You could go back and forth with the player. I get it, but come on, leave that stuff out of all this trash talking and everything. It's just stupid, And I get it. It doesn't. I'm not going to put the whole fan base in there, but there are idiots in every fan base. We have them too. That's really stupid. But I'm looking forward to that one because this is going to be his first time, right? And he I don't think he's afraid. Like you could tell, like his mindset is great for this kind of game, and I think he's going into it expecting. Listen, they're going to say they've already, like you said, they've already threatened, his life. So what else could they possibly say that's going to hurt him? I'm sure they're going to say things about his family. So he knows all this. So he's prepared for it. and I think he'll be fine. So it'll be a fun atmosphere. But Bayo pitches great against the Yankees, so it should be a good pitching matchup. Even though Bayo hasn't really pitched well this year.
Yeah, let's hope that it's an old time Yankee Red Sox series. That'll be good.
Yeah.
We need some good games this season. It's just, I don't know, this season's seemed lopsided so far with so many teams that you didn't think, and I named them in the beginning of the show, we're going to have bad records so far. And it's, some of the teams are just shocking with the bad records. So hopefully things straighten out and, things get better, because we know there might not be any baseball next season.
Oh, I know. We have to really enjoy this year because we really have no idea what's going to happen next off season, right? With the lockout coming and the CBA and all that stuff. So we'll see. All right, let me ask you this: out of 1, 2, 3, 4, out of the 7 worst teams in baseball right now, going by records, the Mets, the Royals, the Astros, the White Sox, the Phillies, the Blue Jays, and the Red Sox. That's at least 4 teams out of that 7 that we thought were playoff teams, right?
Right.
We could keep the White Sox out of it, maybe the Royals, and I guess the Astros were borderline. They could have went either way. What teams do you think out of those 7 do you think will make the playoffs still?
Ugh, that's rough. I would say the Red Sox. I would say Toronto. But that's not guaranteed. And I can't even say the Mets. I can't even say the Mets because right now the Mets, even if they're tied with Kansas City for the worst record, I think the Mets are the worst team right now in baseball. Soto comes back. If things change, then it could be different. But right now, I'm just waiting. I'm hoping the Mets could get to at least a 500 record right now. I'm not even thinking about the postseason right now.
Yeah, I listen. I think the Red Sox are definitely going to bounce back. The Phillies, I don't know, because you know what? I think the Phillies will get on a roll. I just don't know long term. Are they going to get on a hot streak? There's, you got a lot of veterans on that team. I think they'll fix it, but how long can they keep it up?
Yeah,
I'm talking about them. They're older. They're an older team. They're trying to squeeze out whatever they can that's left in these guys. I get it. I just don't know. Maybe when Wheeler comes back, for the Phillies, maybe that'll spark them.
But it's no guarantee with Wheeler. We don't know how he's going to pitch. He's older now, and after that, come back with that surgery, we have no idea.
And the thing with the Mets, what scares me a lot about the Mets is that you could go back to, I think it's June of last year. From June of last year till now, the only team that's worse than them is the White Sox.
Yeah, I know.
That's scary. That's a long time. That's almost a full season when you think about it.
Yeah, and there's theories, but I'm not going to bring up any political crap. But there's theories and jinxes and all this other stuff. Including from last June. And then we know, about Mr. and Mrs. Met and all that other crap. I don't even want to talk about that. So the thing is, jinxes, all out baloney. No, the Mets are bad. The Mets they don't have a first baseman. Okay? You can't be a major league team and not have a first baseman. Okay? And they don't have one. The experiment didn't work, guys. All right? So you have to figure out what you're going to do, or else it's going to be it's already a long season. It's only April. It's only April. I feel like it's friggin' September already. It's only April.
You know what? But that's the good part, right? That is the good part, that there's still like 140 games left of this series, of this season. So, but it's got to start to turn at some point.
Carlos. We haven't seen Carlos in a long time.
And Carlos, I agree, but if they don't get to 90 wins, I don't think they're making the playoffs. Right?
Exactly. Right. And Armand thinks the Astros will make the postseason.
Oof, man.
I don't know about that, but we'll see. But the Phillies, I don't know. The Phillies, I've said the Phillies have been old since the 2024 playoffs. Of course, we know what happened last year, but then in the postseason again, the Phillies didn't go anywhere. So I don't know. The Phillies are old. We have to see what's going on in the East. But right now, the Braves are team to beat. What else is new, right? We didn't think that was going to be the case, but with the injuries to their pitching staff, and they're still the team to beat in the East, Chris.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the Braves are loving this, right? Because they're up by 8 games on the Mets, right? So they're just sitting, they're just playing their, they're trying to extend this lead as much as they can because they know eventually the Mets are going to play better. They know the Phillies are going to play better, right? There's runs in them. As bad as they look right now, both of those teams, they're going to get better, right? It's going to happen. So, both teams got good pitching. I think it's going to happen, but we'll see. I'm not good so far. What expansion? I'm hoping for when GM made sideways. Right, exactly, Carl. You're absolutely right. He's 100% right. And some of them weren't even in sideways. Some of them were down. You know what I mean? Like some of them weren't, sideways changes. So,
yeah, and do you think? Listen, I don't know. They're gonna have a streak. They have to. It's just the nature of the game. But right now, it just looks awful. And this series is this homestand is important, Chris.
Yeah,
it's just important.
I agree. They have to right the ship here.
Yeah, they definitely. They're sinking faster than the Titanic right now. Really, they are.
All winnable games. We mentioned it already. You got Minnesota, 3 with Minnesota, 3 against Colorado, then 3 against Washington.
But you know what? Washington
always gives you guys problems.
Washington and Miami always gives them problems. Always. Yep. And it shouldn't. But, then we're going to have Rick Lewis laughing with Washington when they play the Mets. Anyway, all right, so that's what's going on. But now the Dodgers finally did something right, Chris.
Yes.
That 81-year-old season ticket holder who couldn't use his phone. He didn't have a smartphone. He had a flip phone. And the Dodgers stopped printing. This is stupid, too. For their season ticket holders, they didn't have printed tickets, but for single games, they did. Does that make sense to you? No. Like, you're screwing your older season ticket holders, but single games, you have them. Anyway, they did the right thing, Chris, and they finally printed the tickets for him and got him his season tickets. So what do you think? Finally, they did something right.
Yes, I agree. And it cost them literally nothing to do it, to print tickets for this guy, right? It's not like they're going out of their way to do it. They print tickets for people that are walking up to buy tickets. So why not do it? It's just so dumb that they even made it a thing. Like once it should have never got to this point is what I'm saying. We
should have never even heard about it.
Right.
And Carlos, yes, Mets traded off Youth for Terrible Hope. And yeah, but they do have young players. They're giving Benj a chance. Right now, he's not looking too good, but they do have a great farm system, and we got to have our friend Ernest Stubb come on, Chris, to talk about the Mets farm system soon.
Definitely, like he would be a good guy to bring up now because you know what, he could tell us who's down in AAA that there's an option to bring up. I know some of these guys are not on the 40-man, but you know what? Why is Tommy Pham here? To me, that makes no sense.
Right? That was horrible. Because Stearns thought he was going to catch lightning in a bottle again. He was here for part of that season, and he was pretty good. Then he got traded to Arizona, helped them go to the postseason. So they were hoping he'd catch lightning in a bottle again. That's not going to happen. Yes, we agree with that, especially since the other night Mauricio got the walk-off for the Mets, and then they sent him right back down. So,
it's not going to be over Simeon. Simeon's going to be here because of his contract,
right? Contract, yes, of course.
He's stuck. But for Pham, for Benj, maybe send Benj down to get his confidence going. I don't know, but they need to do something.
and Lindor, they have to figure out what's with Lindor too.
Yeah, like why is he like we said it the last time? Like he's playing with his head's up his butt. Like there's something wrong with that guy. He shouldn't be this way.
Something's going on with him. Anyway, you got that thing for Danny Gallagher. I want to plug it, Chris. Our good friend Danny Gallagher. Listen, no one on this planet knows more about the Montreal Expos than Danny Gallagher, Chris.
Absolutely. Yeah, there is nobody that knows the Expos more than Danny Gallagher. And we had him on a couple of times already, giving us great Expo stories and incredible stories, actually. So I mean, I wish we were in, the Toronto area so we could go to some of these book signings, to actually meet him.
But we're putting it up anyway. He has a new book that we actually had him on and talked about called The Tragic Story of Willie Davis and Other Expos Vignettes. And he's going to be at a bunch of places in Canada signing the new book. Listen, this guy's books are great. His stories are great. So if anybody's in Canada near there, check it out. I'm sure if you're in Canada and you're a baseball fan, you know who Danny Gallagher is because everybody knows who Danny Gallagher is. All the ex-players and the authors, everybody knows who Danny is. So, if you're in Canada, check that out. He has some great stories. And like we said, he knows everything about the Expos. You name a player, he knows what year they played for the Expos, and he knows what they hit. He knows everything about the Expos.
I wish he was doing a signing in New York. That would have been great.
Me too. That we would definitely be there. Next year for Lent, he's giving up any team that ends with ETS.
Good idea, Joe.
Yeah, there's two of them I could think of, one with an M and one with a J.
Yes.
You want to put up the do you have a picture for the promo for the Wednesday night show, clearing the bases, or we don't have that?
I think so. I think it was this one.
The show, put anyone, clearing the bases Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. We're on YouTube, Facebook, all our stuff, and the guys with the Romantic About Baseball guys, Lorenzo. It's a fun show. It's quick. The questions are great, and I'm the only one who didn't win so far.
We're gonna have to change that this week.
But anyway, if you guys want to check out a fun, different baseball show, check out Clearing the Bases Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. It's a lot of fun. Chris, it's been so much fun, right?
Yeah, exactly. We've gone through 3 shows now, and every week it's just tons of fun. It's great questions, and listen. And if you guys want to join us, just hop in the comment section and give us your takes on some of the questions that are asked. They're really interesting questions. They're up for debate, which is great. Baseball, man. We're always up for a good debate with baseball. So it's just a great show. It's fun. It's quick too. It's like 40 minutes, 45 minutes maybe. So definitely check us out.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. And Wednesday afternoon at noon, we have a very special guest. Staten Island Ferry Hawks GM Gary Perrone is going to be on the show. Noontime special show Wednesday. We're going to talk about the Ferry Hawks. We're going to talk about the young players. And we always love talking to baseball guys like this, Chris, about the young players and what's going on. So that, that's definitely going to be a fun show Wednesday at noon, Chris.
Yeah. No, I absolutely. I'm really looking forward to it. I know who's in the independent league, but I don't really know all the players that are in there. And obviously, Trevor Barrow was just signed by the Ducks, so we could ask him about that, his opinion on that. Maybe they tried to sign him as well. So we'll see. Yeah,
it's going to be a good show. Like I said, Wednesday at noontime, and also Friday night. The new Friday night, the baseball season, Friday night time, 10 p.m. Me and Chris will be back, and maybe I'll be crying about the Mets, or maybe I'll be saying everything's all right now. I don't know. It goes either way. But you have anything else, Chris?
No, I think that's about it. I think we covered everything. I'm looking forward to obviously the show with the GM of the Ferry Hawks. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to clearing the bases on Wednesday night. And then Friday night's our show at 10 o'clock. I'm curious if we're going to feel any different about the Mets on Friday night as we are talking now. So we'll see. I'm curious to see how they do this week.
And Chris, wait, you're on tonight too.
Yes, I'm on tonight on the Pesky podcast at 7 o'clock. So look for me on YouTube. I'll try to share it on this account. If not, just look for me on YouTube, Pesky podcast. I'll be on there. We'll be talking Yankees, Red Sox.
Chris is always good on that show. It's always a great show with Chris on there. So check it out. We will see you guys Wednesday, noontime, with Gary Perrone, GM of the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. See you then.